Yo, what to do, everybody? This is your boy, the Black Gandhi, bringing you another video today. Today will be episode 3 of GP Rant Season 2. I uploaded a video earlier today just congratulating my Boston Celtics on making it to the playoffs and making it with the number 1 seed. So go ahead and check that video out if you want to. Now, before we get into the ranting part of this video, I want to send my deepest condolences to the Rooney family and the Steeler Nation for their loss yesterday on the loss of Mr. Rooney. Amazing man, amazing individual. The Rooney family, they're they're NFL, they're royalty, man. So my deepest condolences to the family, to Steeler Nation on your loss. Huge, huge loss for sure. The man that innovated the Rooney Rule, making sure that all teams interview at least one African American or minority um, during their um, during their interviewing for head coaching jobs and front office positions. They have to interview at least one minority or African American candidate. So it's awesome. Great for him. Inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 2000. Just like I said, an amazing man. And even though my team is the New England Patriots, as you see, always got respect for the Steelers. They got the most Lombardis with 6. Also, freaking just that family in general, man. They the first family, man. So, again, my deepest condolences to the Rooney family and Steeler Nation on your loss, man. Um, and hopefully the Steelers will be able to keep it in the family, because I couldn't imagine the Steelers being run by anybody else but the Rooneys. So, hopefully the Rooneys will continue to be the owners of that team. And like I said, my deepest condolences. So without any further ado, let's dive right into the ranting part. Let's start off with some a developing story. As we knew about maybe a month ago, we knew that Marshawn Lynch name was come up about possibly coming out of retirement. It started really picking up steam about a month ago. Probably we probably know for about maybe 2.5 months now or so, maybe somewhere around that. But we do have a nice break in the story. Marshawn Lynch and the Oakland Raiders have agreed to a deal um, that will guarantee Marshawn Lynch coming out of retirement to play for the Oakland Raiders if he's traded from Seattle. Because as y'all know, he retired last year, and Seattle still has his rights. So if he were to come out of retirement, he would be a Seahawk right now. So in order for him to go to the Raiders, he would have to be traded from Seattle to Oakland. So hopefully that gets done soon because obviously he wants to come back and play, but only if it's for the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders have already made their agreement on their offer for Marshawn Lynch, so now all Seattle has to do is just trade him. So you can pretty much get whatever for free, pretty much because he wasn't playing for y'all anyway. He won't play for y'all. So that's that part. So a few videos ago, I talked about what this particular ranting video will be about today, and I was debating two corners, Darrelle Revis and Richard Sherman. Let's start with the easier of the two, and that's Richard Sherman. About around the same time frame as we heard about Marshawn Lynch wanting to come out of retirement and play for the Oakland Raiders, rumors already started coming around about Seattle possibly wanting to trade Richard Sherman. Obviously, Richard Sherman pretty much put his own foot in his mouth on this one. He pretty much deserves to be traded at this point, and you can't blast your coach and your coaching staff on the sideline like that. You just can't do it. There were also a few questionable plays this year that were quote unquote dirty, and I think Seattle is just done with it. Obviously he's a huge mouthpiece. He's very vocal. Very bright man, but can put his own foot in his mouth sometime. A great player. But I think Seattle has just run its course with him. Um, you know, Even though you're a great player, we saw this with To. Once a team is sick of your antics, you get traded. So we'll see what happens. And what I talked about in the last video was um, who I felt was the one team that could trade for Richard Sherman and get the most out of him. Um, since then, I've actually put a second team into the mix. It was actually just really a few minutes ago before I started making this video. But let me start with the team that I originally, that the one team that I originally put in, and that's, and I'm not doing this because it's my team or whatever, but I really feel that New England at the time would have been the only team that could get the most out of Richard Sherman because one, he respects Coach Belichick. Two, Coach Belichick isn't going to take that. And three, I mean, it's New England. Like, I mean, who doesn't want to play in New England? I mean, you got Brady on the offensive end. The offense is even better than it was last year. And there's a prime opening at the second cornerback spot potentially. The Patriots have a great bargaining chip in Malcolm Butler that they could trade over to get Richard Sherman. Um, he has a great second in command is Stephon Gilmore, who we bought over from Buffalo. Nice and young guy. He can, learn some things from Richard Sherman as well. He has two great safeties backing him up like he has in Seattle right now, and Devin McCourty and Patrick Chung. Like I said, Coach Belichick, Matt Patricia, he's proven himself as a D coordinator. So I really thought that the Patriots would be the only other team that could get what Seattle was getting out of Richard Sherman. Now, that being said, I've had a change of heart and have thrown a second team into the mix, which actually ties all in with my first topic that I covered, and that I feel is the Oakland Raiders. I feel that if you could package a deal with trading both Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch, sending them to Oakland and getting something back in return from Oakland, I think that would be a great thing for Richard Sherman because now he's got Marshawn Lynch with him, and the Raiders will get a great corner to help that defense be able to do what they want to do. They need to get some pass rushers obviously to help out Khalil Mack, but having a great player like Richard Sherman in that secondary, pairing him up with a second year Reggie Nelson, um, maybe Sean Smith will be able to improve. I really feel that he can really help out that secondary, and having Marshawn Lynch in that locker room with him, I think will really help keep his head clear and keep his mind focused on the task at hand. Now, I wouldn't have thrown Oakland into the mix if Marshawn Lynch wasn't in the mix, but obviously, pending a Seattle trade, it looks like he will be an Oakland Raider this upcoming season. So, those are my two teams I feel could get the most out of Richard Sherman via trade. And I really, honestly, I cannot really find another option. I mean, Dallas has been thrown out there, but I just don't know if Dallas has the player personnel in that locker room that could really, help keep Richard Sherman's head in the game and keep it clear and keep it focused and everything like that. So I just, like I said, I really don't see another team. I mean, maybe the only other team maybe is Arizona, possibly, but I don't think they have a room in their secondary for another corner. So honestly, I just think it's either he stays in Seattle or he moves on to a team like New England or Oakland in a package deal with Marshawn Lynch. So let's move to the harder one of the two, and that's Darrelle Revis, obviously. Darrelle Revis had a really bad year last year. He got exposed. He got cooked up. It looked like he was out of shape. It looked like he didn't even want to play. There were thoughts that he might possibly retire, but obviously that wasn't the case. The Jets released him shortly after a whole bunch of federal charges were brought against Darrelle for an incident that happened in Pittsburgh. All Since then, all the charges have been dropped, but Darrelle Revis remains a free agent. I don't even think he's even got called in for a workout or anything like that up to this point. Um, and the biggest question mark when it comes to Darrelle is quite simply one: does he still want to play? And two, would he be willing to convert to safety at this stage of his career? Because I think, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think he can be a corner in this league anymore, unless if he's a slot corner. I don't think he's a starting corner anymore in this league. We saw that last year. He got cooked up bad by some no-name receivers. No disrespect to the wideouts in the NFL, but he was getting cooked up by people that weren't AJ Green or Julio Jones or people like that. So he was getting cooked last season. It was kind of sad to watch because it's like, obviously in 2014 he was a Patriot and he that was like his really last great year. 2015 it was kind of a down year, but he still had a good year. And then of course last season cooked. So it was kind of sad to see. But in terms of teams that I could see would be a good fit for him, in both scenarios, whether he stays at corner or migrates to safety. I think if he stays at corner, I'm thinking a team maybe like Arizona. Like I said, if he is willing to just be a slot corner, Arizona would be a great fit because he has two other great corners, especially with Patrick Peterson helping him out, as well as Tyrann Mathieu in that safety spot, helping him over the top. So, he doesn't have to worry about being cooked because even if he does, he has another great corner and a great safety backing him up over the top. So I think Arizona could be a nice fit. I think Seattle could be a good fit as well, playing alongside Richard Sherman, playing alongside Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor. If they decide they want to go that route and make him a starter and switch Jeremy Lane into the slot, or you could just put Darrelle right in the slot as well. So that's a good. I think that would be probably his best fit if he was to stay at corner. Um, Another team, maybe the Giants, if he wants to stay in New York, follow his teammate Brandon Marshall to the Giants. I think they could use another corner. Have a great young safety in Landon Collins. Have a good corner in Dominic Rogers Cromartie that could help him out. So those are just a few spots. There's probably some more spots that I'm not thinking about. Maybe Baltimore. I don't know. That was maybe a reach. But I think his options are a lot more open if he actually changes over to safety. And I think one of the prime spots for him if he does that would be Dallas. Obviously, they need all the help they can get. Losing a lot of defensive players this year, especially in the secondary. So Dallas would be a great option for him at safety. Um, Another spot. I think this one's kind of a reach as well, but I think that since they're building their team this way anyway, might as well give it a shot. And I think Jacksonville can really help them. Could really help out Jalen Ramsey. Um, and I think that'd be a nice veteran in the locker room, a champion that they need to pair up with Calais Campbell, who signed there this offseason. So Jacksonville maybe could be a destination. Maybe Miami. They can use some help. Um, going back to the Jets is always an option, but I don't know if they want him. But I think his options are a lot more open if he was to migrate to safety because I think there's a lot of teams that can use some safety help right now. And I mean, just I think Atlanta could be a really great option for him. Um, I think probably Atlanta might actually be his best option if he migrates to safety because he can help out the young corners that they have. Desmond Trufant just signed a 5-year extension, so he can obviously learn from Darrelle. And I think honestly, if you're gonna put him on your team, he has to be confident that you're a team that's in prime to win now. And I think you know if you're a team that's in that position, that you would definitely be a prime target for him. And I think Atlanta and Dallas probably are like the two best fits for him at safety. In terms of corner, I'll probably say Seattle is probably his best option. Whether they put him as the slot corner or put him in the second corner opposite Richard Sherman. Um, you know, um, the reason why I don't say a return to New England is because of the simple fact that we do have two starting corners. Obviously, I threw out New England with Richard Sherman, but that's because we have a great bargaining chip in Malcolm Butler that we can use to trade for Richard Sherman. But bringing in Darrelle, that would, obviously we don't have no room in the starting corner spot. We're obviously not going to bench the newly acquired Stephon Gilmore for Darrelle Revis, and we're definitely not going to bench Malcolm Butler in a contract year for Darrelle, where if we want to try to keep him, we gotta make sure that we put him in the best position to succeed, so that way he feels welcome to the team. And obviously, we can't put him in safety unless if he wants to play strong safety, which I'm pretty sure that he doesn't want to do. If he wanted to migrate to safety, he probably want to play free safety to have complete freedom. So, and obviously that's being occupied by Devin McCourty. So, obviously New England, I don't think is a great fit for him because I just don't think there's room, and I'm pretty sure that he wants to start somewhere. So, I don't think New England's a great fit. So, that's just my little take on Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis. Like I said, for Darrelle, if he's at safety, I think Atlanta and Dallas will probably be his two best options. Um, Maybe Baltimore at safety, but I don't know, especially with the situation that has happened to Pittsburgh. So, um, you know, but obviously he will have to play Pittsburgh twice a year. So, like I said, I don't know if that would be his best move. But like I said, for safety, I think Atlanta will probably be the top team for him. And then and Dallas, obviously, because Lone Star State, no state income tax. Probably the greatest fit in terms of the best challenge to see if he can play safety. And then if he wants to stay at corner, obviously I think Seattle will probably be his best fit. And then for Richard Sherman, obviously New England I think would be the best fit for him. But I wouldn't rule out Oakland and a package deal with Marshawn Lynch to send to Oakland. I wouldn't rule him out because he would have Marshawn Lynch there. So I think those are probably the only two teams that can go after Richard Sherman and get the most out of him without really any problems or repercussions or anything like that. So, uh, eh, guess it really wasn't much of a rant, but you know what? I'm calling it a rant anyway. So there you go. Like I said, my condolences to the Rooney family on the loss of Mr. Rooney, man. Dude's a legend. No question about that. And hopefully everything gets resolved with Marshawn Lynch. Hopefully he'll be able to play in the NFL next year in the Oakland Raider uniform. And in terms of Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis, I wish them both the best. Hopefully they can get into the best situation for them, and especially for Darrelle, because I would hate to see a great player like that, an all-time great. That'd be the lasting image that we see of Darrelle Revis just getting cooked up by everybody. So hopefully he gets in the right situation for him, whether he's at corner or safety. Hopefully he gets in the best situation. And for Richard Sherman, hopefully the situation in Seattle gets resolved. And if not, then hopefully he gets moved to the right situation. Like I said, if I wasn't the Patriots or if I wasn't the Raiders, I probably wouldn't even take a chance on trading for Richard Sherman. So there you go. That's all I got for you today. If y'all enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. If y'all didn't, leave a thumbs down. Post the comment section below and see what's your opinion on the Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis situations. What are teams that I didn't say that you possibly see as fits for both Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis? Um, Share with me what Mr. Rooney meant to y'all viewing experience being NFL fans. Um, and does Marshawn Lynch make Oakland the biggest threat to New England in the AFC? Post your opinions in the comment section below. Um, I think that's it, really. Episode 4, I'll talk about the NBA playoffs, I guess, since the playoffs begin tomorrow. So, good luck to all the teams in the playoffs. Hopefully, my Celtics will be able to win it all. But like I said, it's gonna be tough coming out of the East, especially with LeBron in the East. So it's gonna be tough. But I believe in my Celtics, and anything's possible, as my boy KG would say. So, um, like I said, if y'all enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. If y'all did, leave a thumbs down. My link to my Twitter will be in the description box below when I get a chance to put it in there. And as always, have a great day, everybody, or great night. Now, continue to stay blessed. And as always, this is your boy, the Black Gandhi, signing out. Peace.